I'm about to take a sip of my soy vanilla latte, and I thought I would record it before. It's really good. I don't know why I'm like addicted to coffee. Like, not physically, because I don't let myself get physically addicted to it, but mentally, like, it's just so good. One thing I've been thinking about a lot lately is like responding to negativity from people, essentially in a way that might beget more negativity. Um, and I just been thinking about this because as I practice abundance, as I have been for many years, I really think that you it's really bad. So when I was like in my maybe like when I was like in my early 20s, even 20, I started having better boundaries. I started kind of talking back to people and stuff like that, and feeling like I'm not going to tolerate shit kind of thing. And I was really proud of that. And to me, it was a sign that I was growing up, and it was. I will never discount that for anybody, including myself. But then I started practicing gratitude and letting go and going with the flow. And what works better is to just walk away and to let go. I see, it's just, I don't know. Like, there's this thing, I think, especially for like Latina women and like women who've had just of any color, or whatever, who've like had a harder time in life for whatever reasons, or also like for men, just for people who, for whatever reasons, have had a harder time. I just said Latina because I'm Latina, and that's just kind of what I've observed. I feel like I've observed. It's like, okay, yeah, like in Spanish, if you speak Spanish, like yo no me dejo, like I don't allow for people to treat me a certain way, to walk over me, to fool me, to you know to take advantage of me in any way, which is, yeah, I love that. And I love that about, what I see in certain kinds of people. Like, I absolutely love that. We all love, people who stand up for themselves. And I feel like there's this kind of a glorification of women who do that. And I do, how can I put it? I also glorify that because it's amazing, like when we're in our power, whatever, people are in their power. It doesn't matter if you're a man or woman or whatever your gender is. But seriously, just walk away. Like, each and every time, walk away. You can't always walk away, but let me tell you, I'm going to tell you one thing I know absolutely for certain. The only time you should ever argue with somebody is when they love you and you love them, and you have, like, overall a decent relationship, or like overall a relationship where you're both equally invested. I believe that that's the only time you should ever argue with somebody. And I mean, unless you're like debating, like you're literally like in some type of formal debate, but that's different. I feel like obviously that's different. But each and every time, just walk away. Like, why? I don't know. Like, let me give you an example. This is going to be hopefully a decent example, but it's really off the top of my head. Okay, let's say I'm at work and a coworker is like, you never, put all the clothes away. Like, you let everybody else put all the clothes away. And I know that that's not true. I know that I do my part. Instead of going, well, you know what? Last night I saw you, whatever, and you were on your phone or whatever. And instead of doing that, which I feel like is popular somehow, like I see it on social media, like like it's a celebrated reaction. Instead of doing that, just be like, I do put my clothes away. And that's it. Literally, that's it. Like, do not engage. I'm not sure. I guess I have my suspicions as to why people like it just shouldn't be celebrated. Like engaging with people who you know don't aren't invested in you, like don't do that. If they are not giving, like if they're essentially seeing you in a negative light, don't engage with them. If you need to say something in the moment, say something, say it clearly. Maybe you have to repeat yourself, but don't emotionally engage ever. So that's just been one thing that I've been thinking about, and I don't necessarily want to turn my YouTube channel into some like weekly preach, like me preaching every week, but then again, my channel is about how I live by abundance, and so I do like to kind of teach what I know. Anyway, that's just one thing I've been thinking about a lot lately. Because like when I was a little younger, like when I was like in my, early 20s, mid 20s, up until my late 20s, because that's when I had my spiritual awakening and I started letting go and practicing gratitude and stuff. I was like, I love about it myself that I always like talk back, or like I always like, but now I'm like, oh my God, like that's fine. That's where I was. And that was healthy for me because I grew up not doing that. I grew up a lot of the times putting my feelings, like like not prioritizing my feelings. But now, I think the goal is, and I've seen this like as it was somehow in this famous quote, like it's something like when you begin to see like yourself, that you are like a projection of other people, like the way people treat you is a projection of their own minds essentially, you'll stop reacting to them completely. And I think that that is healthy. Like people, like if people really knew your intentions, if they knew your heart, like if they were connecting to you in the heart and they knew you, they knew your heart, they could, you know respond there. Like they wouldn't, well, they wouldn't see you in a negative light, and that's just it. So if they're seeing you in a negative light and they're talking to you like that, just walk away, because maybe it's a sign that you see yourself in a negative light subconsciously in some aspect of you, and that just means that you need healing, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I think that generally it's best when you're like, oh, I'm triggered, I'm activated, I'm going to walk away, and this will be processed, away from this person who clearly is not invested in me.